Welcome to another episode of the Need for Speed Most Wanted Mod Showcase, and in today's episode, we're starting off with a Flintstones mobile. Yes, that should give you the theme for this episode. We're literally starting off with Granddad! So I hope you're excited for this one, because it's going to be fairly interesting. Now, I should mention that I don't remember the names off the top of my head for who requested these, by the way. I do think this one was by nlgzrgn, if I remember correctly. I think I'm going to be search checking after I'm done recording this anyways. I guess the leaderboard, because I'll just mention it there. I should mention, though, about the Flintstones mobile, is that this replaces a traffic vehicle. This replaces the pizza traffic car, the little pizza car, which is actually one of the very few traffic cars the game actually lets you drive. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly how well this does. I can't put any performance stuff on it, and there's nothing in the means of customization. Also, like those big tire marks that it leaves. It's accurate. And of course, as you may have heard, or may have not, there is not a single engine note for this car. It is deathly silent. Which is accurate because, you know, there is no engine in this car. The car would have been powered by feet. Or shoes. Or, well, I don't think they had shoes back in the day. Or back in the Stone Age years that the Flintstones is based off of. So, at least it's accurate in that sense. What's not accurate is the fact that this thing can go over 120 miles an hour. I don't think I've ever known any. I don't think the Flintstones mobile is ever capable of going that fast. I mean, you could have multiple people be operating the car, but to be going over 120 miles an hour, that'd have to be a fucking miracle, to say the least. But it's silly to think about it. This car, this Flintstones mobile, without having any attributes filed, modified to it, or anything like that, is still going faster than the Lancia 037 did without a modified attributes. The modding community for this game can be very weird sometimes, you know? And I guess this car is a good example of that. It's still really cool to see, though, because you never would expect such a car like this to appear in a game. But someone actually did recently, as well, go through the effort of doing so. And you can just see how big those tire marks are left, because those whole little cylinders, the stone cylinders, do move the whole thing, so it's fairly accurate to be doing that. So, props to, I guess that would I be saying props to the modder or props to the fact that the game does that? I guess maybe the modder, but I can't remember for sure. Excuse me. So yeah, this is a bit of a lengthier one, of course, because, well, as you can see, the car only does about like 100. I think the fastest I've gone into it was 150, but that was coming off of like a downhill section. So, I mean, at least, yeah, you can see there at least 142. So it's not a slouch, but I mean, you know, you can't really do much. It actually does have working nitrous, as you see there, but I'm not using it because, well, you already know why I'm not using it. Anyways, yeah, about 147 or 148. You know, nearly 150 miles an hour there. Oh God, that was a 1 minute 18.56 apparently. So it's, you know, it's obviously low down the field in terms of the leaderboard, but it's understandably so because, you know, again, because I'm only able to get the car down to about 100. A car up to about only just under 150. So, and we've had a few cars in this series that have gone over the likes of 300 miles an hour, including one that we're gonna see later. In fact, I took that one out already for a testing purpose, not on this track. It was just for a general thing, and sadly, it didn't work out the way I was hoping to. Then I actually read the mod description, and apparently, it was mentioned in there that it wouldn't, which is disappointing. But I'll go further into that once I get to that car. And I should have muted Discord. Oh well, so I apologize for that. I always tend to do that every now and then. I'll just have that episode where I think I've set everything up all ready to go, and then, oh, wait a minute, I'm hearing something in the background, and then I'm like, oh crap. So, you know, oh well. Let's see. Okay. Ease up a little bit. There we go. That was a lot better through there. So definitely we can enter this final lap with more speed. So that definitely will help. But I take like the further on the left, so I don't have to take as huge of a jump. I mean, this car still definitely gets airborne. It's not like a thing that sticks to the ground, which is a bit silly. But hey, I can only imagine how painful that must be if you're like running. If you're like having your feet moving, and you're hitting the ground like that. You probably would break your legs and your feet by doing that. Ah, god damn it, Discord. It's probably one of those chats that I should probably set the notifications to be only mentions, and it's probably just going off because I forgot to turn the damn thing off. So yeah, I apologize. I apologize for that. Don't check your Discords unless you're part of one of my servers that I'm in. But it's not your end, it's mine because I'm a stupid idiot. But yeah, and as the sky starts to turn a little bit pinkish. Again, I really do. Again, there's a good reason why I use this color filter, because it just looks a hell of a lot cleaner. Gets rid of all the piss. It really makes the game look 10,000 times better on PC with it off and with these kind of colors. And it's why I put it in the description if any of you ever want to try them out yourself. So yeah, there we go. The best we got there was a 1:16.98, so just under 1 minute 17. So yeah, it's obviously not at the bottom. I mean, I'd be shocked if it was slower than like buses and that like Plymouth Sport suburban traffic vehicle, but yeah, fair enough. Oh god damn it! You know what? I'm gonna do a jump cut just so I can shut Discord up. Okay, well hopefully now we shouldn't have to worry about that. So anyways, next up we've got a pumpkin. Yeah, it's literally a car with a giant pumpkin on it. Yeah, it's a giant pumpkin car. I know you're saying, why is it blue? Well, that's because it replaces the Cadillac CTS, so that's why. Of course, we can actually paint it, so we can get a much more accurate color of orange that a pumpkin should be. In fact, yep, that orange is perfect. Can't really do much else. You can actually put a spoiler on it, and I imagine you can obviously change the wheels too. But you know, I kind of like it without either of those, so we're going to just run without it. Anyways, pumpkin. Pumpkin. I also like that it's basically like Freaks Gone Crazy Nuts Pumpkin or whatever. It's not just a pumpkin mobile. It's got like a really silly name to it. So I really enjoy that. So not only do we go back to a car that actually has an engine sound, it seems to just be the same Cadillac CTS engine sound, which is fair enough, because that's the car it replaces. It's also quite quick. Already doing 200 miles an hour there. I mean, last episode we did have a fairly decently quick car in that 935 Turbo. But this pumpkin car is definitely faster. But yeah, I could tell just by the way of looking at it. This was definitely during that like phase for most wanted mods where people were just really into putting like weird, overly fast fictional cars. Excuse me. I mean, one of them was technically this. I think probably came out around the same time that the likes of that El Nino and Airstream concept came out. I mean, the El Nino is essentially is an already existing car. I mean, it was from most high stakes, or not high stakes. Actually, no. Sorry, it's not supposed to be the El Nino. It's the La Nina. That's the one that's what the game. That's what the modder mentioned it as a La Nina. Sorry, that's the one I'm thinking from high stakes. I mean, the El Nino and the La Nina pretty much look almost exactly the same, but the difference is that the El Nino has like just a really powerful like engine, whereas the La Nina I guess it's supposed to be like rocket or jet powered or something. But yeah, apart from that, they're pretty much mostly the same vehicle. But yeah, the modder made it in mind to be a La Nina. By the way, 48.36, a sub 50-second car from this, which makes a lot of sense considering the pace that this car can go. Then again, pumpkin. Excuse me. But basically, yeah, it's that the La Nina is a former lap record holder of this track. It's current. I think it is. I think it's still currently sitting in second place, though, just behind the current longest holding first place car. Nothing's had it for as long as the McLaren Mercedes MP4-29. I did that way back, and it's still sitting at the top. And I'd be very damned if something actually does beat it, to be fair. Because that thing was just ridiculously fast, tons of acceleration and speed, and monstrous amounts of grip. It was just on a whole nother plateau, that car. But who knows? You never know with some of these mods. And then of course one other thing too is that the modified, if it's a car that beats that lap time, but is a car that has a modified attributes, that's just gonna have its own leaderboard. I made a separate leaderboard. It sits below the regular leaderboard for any car that has a modified attributes file, because I felt it'd be a bit more fair to kind of keep those in their own thing, because technically they're mods I've already done before, but with a file of attributes that have been redone by an outside source. Yeah, I really fucked this. Oh, Jesus Christ. What am I doing? I really fucked this lap up. I like how it just stops at the point where the game can trigger me finishing. That is fairly amusing. But yeah, 48.36 seems about right for the time that this car can do. I mean, if you really push, maybe sub 48, but you know, you sort of get the idea. It's a really fast car. It's like top 20 material, I think. For my leaderboard. Anyways, the final car we have up today is the only car that's not actually, well, the Flintstones mobile. I guess maybe I suppose this one technically exists for the Flintstones movie in like the 90s. Has John Goodman in it. But the final car we have here from the Fast and Furious 6 is the flip car. Basically, it's the car in the movie that was just basically meant to just kind of rampage through everything and just launch cars into the air and flip them, hence its name, Flip Car. Now, I wish I could tell you that you could do the exact thing with this car in this game to traffic vehicles. Unfortunately, you can't. And I think it's not the case of the fact that the modder just kind of fucked that up. I think the physics of this game just don't allow it. So it wouldn't matter if the car was like really low to the ground. The way that the physics work in this game, I don't think would allow the cars to just flip, just kind of lift cars off the air suddenly and flip them. I mean, if this was like Underground or Underground 2, you definitely could. I'm sure in that game it would definitely be more than possible. I mean, and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think it's the case in Most Wanted. There's a few things you can do. You can remove the spoiler on a section on near that hood area, but apart from that, you can't do much else. Now, and again, like I said, I've tried testing already, hence why I mentioned about it, but you can't. Not that it really needs it, because there's another benefit to this car, although, that being said, whilst I say it's a benefit, it's also a bit of a curse. You thought that Pumpkin was fast, then you see the flip car. This thing is stupid fast. But, at the same time, whilst it is stupid fast, it loves to slide out and oversteer. You have to be so careful with this car, which of course isn't exactly the easiest thing to do in the world when the car is easily doing over 250 miles an hour, 270, 280. You're not long enough straightaway. This thing will easily hit 300 without nitrous. You can see just how much trouble I'm gonna have, and that's the kind of the thing, really. Like, some of these really stupid fast cars, I know more than I can eat. I know that if they were really stable and really easy to manage, I could easily get faster lap times with them and all that kind of stuff. But they're so nigh on hard to handle that I just can't get a better lap out of it. That Airstream concept, I think, is one of the best examples. The Airstream concept was stupid fast, and it is in third place, which is more than respectable, I guess, if you're considering lap times and not in terms of just how the car performs. But if you're someone who, like me, who considers it by how the car performs, it's so nigh on uncontrollable and just really difficult to get the hang of that it's not a fun fast. Like the MP4-29 and linearity in some aspects. It was more of a fun fast, because especially with the MP4-29, because that thing just has tons of grip and is very easy to get to speed and tends to stay under control fairly well. And hell, even the 1000 TC of Barth, that really ridiculously broken mod, that thing was stupid fast, but it was also, you know, it didn't really have tons of, like, massive grip. I mean, yeah, it gripped very well, but it wasn't to the case where suddenly it was going to snap out unless you, like, braked, like, really, oh my god, you braked, like, really hard. See, this thing has snap oversteer. That was just tail out and say it bye, basically. But yeah, this thing is just, oh my god, this thing is so difficult to hang up. I know I could do a better lap time with this if I could just get the damn car under control, but it's so difficult. Like, I'm really trying to get this thing as smooth as possible, but when it goes, it's just hard to get it back under control. So, believe me, I'm trying my damn hardest to keep it all under control, but it's certainly not easy. Oh god. Yeah, you can see what I mean there. Just all that kind of, all the stress of just trying to keep this damn thing under control. Well, I certainly gave it a good try with that last lap. It was definitely the smoothest, and we finished with a 42.60. So yeah, still a fairly fast lap, but man, I would have probably liked this car more if A, it could actually flip cars, like hence its name, and B, if it was actually grippy and not just trying to snap oversteer like you saw there. So yeah, I wish I could be a little bit more positive, but it's just those two things just generally doesn't make this really interesting of a car to keep, unless you really like the flip car from the movie and just want to have it in your game. You're otherwise just better off passing it by. And so, of course, that leads us over to the leaderboard of the fastest car of the day. Really shouldn't come as any surprise. It is, of course, the flip car going into 5th place with a time of 42.60 seconds. I should have also mentioned, I forgot to, that it replaces the Mercedes-Benz CLK 500, making this the fastest Mercedes-Benz mod replacement that we've had so far. And apparently I didn't even realize that I actually requested this flip car myself. I put it in, I guess maybe to try to complete this episode, I guess just to have something somewhat fitting, maybe, I don't know. Nevertheless, though, it doesn't take too long to get to our second place car of the day in 15th place, just 10 below. Freaks Crazy Gone Nuts Pumpkin. Yes, that is legitimately the name of the cars listed on NFS Cars, or just the pumpkin cars you want to call it. It did a time of 48.36 seconds, just edging out the likes of the McLaren F1 Elite and Peugeot 908 HDI FAP and Skyline GTS 25T, just a tad bit back on the Audi R8 TDI and Lotus T125. And finally, by the way, before I move on, of course, replaces the CTS and was requested by Flip369. I believe that's Philippe379. I believe. I'm gonna have to make sure, but I'm pretty sure it is Philippe. Sorry. We do have to go quite a bit ways down to get to our last car of the day in 171st place. So, yeah, it's Flintstones car, the Flintstones Mobile or whatever it's really called. We're doing a time of 1 minute 16.98. This was requested by nlgzrgn, as I was correct on mentioning earlier in the video. It did beat out the 037, which I kind of expected it to do. Not by as much, though, but it did, beat it out. And it also beat other things like the E-Type, and then, of course, way easily beat the Plymouth Sport Suburban and the buses and all that kind of stuff. Just a little bit back on the Opel Speedster Turbo, but, of course, that's just, the Speedster is just another case of the 037 where it's just really badly done, hence why it's over here. And that's the time that it was done once it was modded. But anyways, that's going to do it for today's episode. The next episode is going to be a theme of a certain manufacturer. In fact, the next 2 episodes are going to be manufacturer themes. So stay tuned for that. And as always, guys, all the links are in the description down below for downloading the mods yourself if you want to try them out, as well as the other stuff like extra options, the lighting, and all that kind of stuff. If you want to request a mod, do so down below in the comments, and you can also check out my Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, or my forum boards. They're also all down there as well, and of course as well as the link to this leaderboard. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and take care.